India and China held constructive diplomatic talks on proposals to resolve the remaining issues and achieve complete disengagement in eastern Ladakh. But there were no signs of a breakthrough. The Ministry of External Affairs said both sides decided to hold the next round of senior commander meeting at the earliest to achieve the objective and agreed on the need to ensure a stable situation on the ground and avoid any untoward incident. Well, as we all know, that India and China have been engaged in this feud in eastern Ladakh for a very long time. There have been a number of co-commander level talks, but none of them have fructified to an extent where both countries can assure each other that this will not happen again. Arzu, my colleague, is joining us on the phone line to give us more details. Arzu, well, how is it going to be different this time? You know, we've had multiple rounds of core commander level talks with China. None of them have resulted in the kind of disengagement India is looking for.
Well, yes, Vineet, and now the Minister of External Affairs said that they have decided to hold the next round of senior commanders meeting, and the earliest to achieve the objective and agreed on the need to ensure a stable situation. In fact, Gaurangal Das, Joint Secretary in the Ministry of External Affairs, led the Indian delegation, and the Chinese team was headed by the Director General. The meeting that took place, the diplomatic meeting that took place yesterday. And also there was several discussion on the issues taking place in the Ladakh. Also, the two sides reviewed the situation along the LAC in the western sector of the India-China border areas and engaged in an open, constructive and in-depth discussion of proposals to resolve the remaining issue and achieve a complete disengagement in eastern Ladakh. The MEA said in their statement. Also, this further agreed on the need to maintain peace and tranquility along the border areas to ensure a stable situation on the ground and avoid any untoward incident. The report also said this, and the two sides agreed to continue dialogue through military and diplomatic channels and hold the next round of senior commanders meeting at the earliest in order to achieve the above objective. Also, as you mentioned, there were several talks between the senior diplomatics, the commanders, but there was no result of it. So now this remains to be seen whether this meeting will bring some change and there will be some, outcome of this meeting. Yes.
Right. Mr. Sanjeev Srivastava also joins us on the broadcast to give his perspective on the matter. Mr. Srivastava, I hope you can hear me, sir.
I can hear you, yes.
So what do you make of, this back and forth which has been continuing between India and China? When is this likely to see, some sort of a conclusion?
Well, Vineet, I think these are constructive developments in the India-China relationship. And India is never shied away from having talks with China. And these talks must continue. But this new India, under the leadership of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, knows very well that China can be dealt with only from the position of strength. And we are engaging with China through diplomatic talks, through commander level talks, and those talks are very much going on. And in my assessment, it must go on. But these talks are being done from Indian side only from the position of strength. And unless until China takes concrete actions on the ground to disengage, complete disengagement on the eastern Ladakh and whatever the remaining issues are there, when China, unless until they take a concrete steps to resolve those issues, India is also not going to take any further steps. But talks are certainly going on, and let's hope that wisdom prevails on the Chinese side and they take concrete steps to disengagement in the remaining areas, and only it can be hoped. But when it will happen, Vineet, I think it cannot be said, because the Chinese characteristics. They sometimes say different things and do different things on the ground. So I think we know the Chinese behavior very well, and that is why we do not believe in the face value of China. And unless until they show the evidence-based actions on the ground, with regard to disengagement, then only India will also proceed. With regard to our talks with China, I think that should go on, and in my assessment, major powers must always talk to each other. Recently, you saw, Vinit, that U.S. also had a talk with China. President Xi Jinping visited San Francisco, and they had a talk with each other, and such engagements are necessary to maintain the strategic communication at least. So I think for India and China also it is important to maintain a strategic communication, and for that to do, talks are important. But yes, with regard to resolving the remaining issues, that can only be done if China takes concrete actions on the ground to disengage. And then only India will also proceed for disengagement and de-escalation.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.